Hello, you guys. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the Fit Feed by Reed. Today we are talking protein-packed snacks. Yes, protein-packed snacks. I've gotten so many questions on this recently from clients and friends and coworkers, and people wondering, how can I get more protein into my day between my meals? A lot of people have no problem getting protein in at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it's those snacks in between where they feel like they can really help to increase their protein intake, but aren't sure what to grab for. So I'm here to help you out. That is the good news. I want to start by kind of prefacing this concept of protein. Should I be tracking protein? Why do I need so much protein? We live in a society that's constantly shoving into our face that we need to be eating more protein. And that is not always the case, right? There's a certain point where if your protein intake is causing you to sacrifice your intake of fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, then you might be consuming too much protein. But in general, a lot of people are actually a little bit deficient when it comes to eating really good quality protein, and oftentimes actually starting to track their protein intake kind of brings that awareness to them. So generally speaking, if you're working towards some sort of weight loss goal or you're looking to build muscle, you're probably a lot more conscious of your protein intake. And that's really going to help to increase, boost your body's ability to build lean muscle mass and to shed fat. So when it comes to protein, we're going to dive into some snack choices. Yes. I did not include protein shakes on this list because I know that a lot of people are like, yes, protein shake this, protein shake that. I don't want any more protein shakes. So I will actually include below a link to an infographic that is super, super helpful on kind of building the perfect protein shake. It is from Precision Nutrition, which is actually the group that I'm certified through as a nutrition coach, and they have a ton of really amazing resources, so I'll make sure to include that below. That kind of helps if you're like, hey, I want to switch up my protein shake a little bit, I want more ideas. I will also give a small plug for my Instagram account, Fit Feed by Reed, because I share a ton of stuff on there, you guys, that I don't share here, whether it's just Insta stories of the things that I'm eating throughout the day, or even some kind of like short and quick recipes that don't make it to the blog. And protein shakes are a big favorite of mine. So if you're looking for more recipes, I got you. So we're going to dive on in here to these snack ideas, protein-packed snack ideas. My first two are a little bit more standard. You've probably heard of them. Yes. The second two are a little bit more adventurous. So keep watching along here. I've got some fun stuff coming your way. So we'll start with beef jerky. Yes, beef jerky. We've all heard of it. I should actually say jerky in general, because there's so many types of jerky in the market these days. Whether it's turkey jerky, it's beef jerky, there's all different things on the shelf. But jerky in general is a very high protein snack. One of the key things that I want to help you with is when you're at shelf choosing the jerky, be careful of length of ingredient list. If there's a lot of stuff in there that you cannot pronounce, probably a bad sign. That's a general rule. And be careful of sugar. So meat obviously does not contain sugar. So when you turn over the package and it tells you that there's 9 grams of sugar in a serving of beef jerky, you can bet your booty they've added some sugar. So a little bit of added sugar, not the end of the world, right? But if you're grabbing a product off shelf that you're snacking on regularly, it's good to be conscious of the amount of sugar that you are taking in from that snack. But very, very protein packed. So that's a great, great option. So jerky is number 1. Number 2, you've probably heard of this as well. It's called a protein bar. What? Yeah. So protein bars are very, it's a quickly growing market. I guess I can tell you that much. There's a lot of new products showing up on shelf, which is also creating a level of consumer confusion in what do I pick, what's best for me. There's all this marketing speak on pack about protein this, net carb that, and what's the best thing to pick, right? So I will say RX bars I am a really, really big fan of. That's just my genuine personal opinion. That is a non-sponsored plug. I do really like RX bars. But I think of protein bars in 2 different camps. So camp number 1 is more of the macro-friendly camp. So these are oftentimes the bars that are, they're messaged all over on the front of the package as high protein, low net carb, for only X number of calories, you can get X number of grams of protein. And oftentimes when you flip over the label, I will also call it to it. A lot of these are kind of flavored things like birthday cake, cookies and cream, like taste like dessert, but it's protein. When you flip over the product, you will oftentimes see that on the label, the ingredient list is crazy long. And also full of a lot of things you definitely can't pronounce. So the macros on the label probably look pretty good. Oftentimes with those types of bars, you'll get at least 20 grams of protein. You'll, 2 grams of net carbs, really high fiber, moderate to low fat. So the benefit there obviously is the macros are good. They may taste like dessert. So if you feel like you're really craving something and you're like, hey, this is probably going to satiate me better than actually going and eating a tub of ice cream, great option, right? But I would not rely on eating these bars regularly. Reason being, the ingredients there's a lot of things in the ingredient list that your body probably doesn't entirely recognize. Hence why the ingredient list is so long and you can't pronounce like half of it. Yeah. So we're going to be careful of those bars. They are out there. Some of them are really tasty, but be careful of them. The other camp is the not so macro friendly, but ingredient friendly camp. So oftentimes you'll find a lot more energy bars in this, in that world, I guess I could say. So you'll get really short ingredient lists. Oftentimes you'll get a lot higher carb, a lot higher fat, and not a lot of protein, which isn't bad, right? Like all these different bars serve different purposes. A really good example of that would be, say, Lara Bar. There's 2 to 5 ingredients in pretty much every single one of those bars. They taste incredible, but there's very, very, very little protein, right? And that's not the intention of the bar. The intention really is for it to be a clean energy bar. But from a protein perspective, probably not your most optimal choice, I guess I could say. So that is one reason that I actually do really like RX Bar. I think that RX Bar has kind of merged these two worlds a little bit, and they're providing pretty decent macros. There's usually 12 grams of protein in each of their bars. So they're providing pretty good macros, but they're also giving you a really short and recognizable ingredient list. So that is my tip. Those are my big tips for you when you are at shelf picking your protein bars. The next 2 ideas are a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more fun and new. So this third idea, this is something that I actually have not shared yet. I am going to share this as kind of the teaser on Instagram for this new blog post. So I will make sure that the recipe is included in there. It's a super easy recipe. This is my spicy sriracha tuna. Yes, it is delicious. It's great to pair with fresh veggies or even root vegetable chips. And this is all it is, friends. A can of tuna, a tablespoon of mayo. I like to use actually the Chosen Foods avocado oil mayo. So avocado oil is much less processed oil than canola oil is. So a tablespoon of mayo and a big squirt of sriracha. It's a technical measurement right there. Yeah. So depending on how spicy you want it, you can choose how much sriracha you put in it. But it's really, really delicious. This is probably the most protein-packed option I have. Ooh, carrot's flying. The most protein-packed option I have sitting in front of me here on the floor. So the tuna is just delicious. The spice of the sriracha, pair it with the right veggies, and that is a super satisfying snack. That is even something that I'll make into a meal sometimes. I'll put it on a bed of greens. I'll add both some root vegetable chips as well as some fresh veggies, and it tastes so good. Fourth idea for protein-packed snacks is protein peanut butter. I should say protein nut butter. Really, you can do this with any kind of nut butter. And you can pair these with apples. You can pair this with a banana. You can eat it straight up after you make it. I've done that plenty of time. But this is actually a recipe that I shared on Instagram a week or so ago. And it's really as simple as taking a scoop of protein powder. You can choose vanilla or chocolate depending on what flavor profile you're going for. Mix it with about a tablespoon or 2, maybe 3 of almond milk. And you'll get this kind of like thicker consistency that then you mix with a tablespoon of peanut butter, cashew butter, almond butter, whatever your heart desires. And you can add in everything from cinnamon to a little bit of vanilla extract. You could add in cacao nibs. You could add in dried fruit. You can just get crazy with it. Hemp seeds, chia seeds. You can make all kinds of delicious concoctions. But the great thing is it's a higher protein option to pair with, say, a banana or an apple for dipping. And it is really stinking delicious. Like, let me just tell you that I have made this many a time as like a dessert if I felt like I was craving something after dinner. And ooh, really hits the spot. Really does. So those are your ideas for today for some protein-packed snacks to start including in your week. I hope this is helpful. And if you guys have questions, you can absolutely leave comments below. Please let me know what's kind of going through your head. Maybe share your favorite protein-packed snack if it's something I didn't mention here. And I will make sure to share the details on these items below. Have a good day, you guys.